might have this rage inside him.
I've got this rage
Inside of me. Oh.
that I.
You guys got smart.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Body Spartan Podcast. This is your host Gabe Tuft, and I am here welcoming my amazing, special, beautiful, bodacious wife, who is also
50 podcasts later, and we still can't get the mic in the right spot on your mouth.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, thanks for telling me, guys.
50 podcasts, and I still have to adjust her mic every time.
Hey!
What do I say? Eat the mic. And Priscilla's like this. So for everybody watching on Facebook Live, Priscilla's like this. Hey, what's up, guys? We're live on the podcast. No, it's got to be right here.
For anybody watching live, you can't see my face because Gabe felt like his face was so important that my face is behind his face.
I
and
honestly don't care.
MySpace and Facebook
really
and
don't care.
MySpace.
I really don't care.
Okay.
That's MySpace.
Well, what's up, everybody? We are live on the Body Spartan Podcast. I am your host, Gabe Tuft, the founder of Body Spartan, for the next hour or so. And with us is the... I don't know. Do you want to just introduce yourself? You were so hot to trot earlier.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. First Lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft. And joining me tonight is my amazing, good-looking, bodacious, customer service doing,
Who's she talking about?
filming to the extreme, Mr. That's where you say your name.
Sean Smith.
Hey.
Hey.
And you know you love him. The man behind the camera.
The man behind the camera. Don't mind me, guys. I was saying hi to my daughter. She was getting ready to go to bed. I don't know if you guys can hear us on the live. We were trying something new. We set up a webcam here. We're working on getting a 3-cam set up here in the studio. Hopefully you can hear us. We're not sure, so do your best. Sean, you monitoring the feed?
Yep.
Cool. All right. I guess there's got to be a way we can plug in the audio to like the
You're
computer.
always trying to
Oh,
plug
you know what?
Still 50 podcasts. Still 50 podcasts. It's got to be like this. There. Now talk into it. Put your head down where it was. There.
Uh-huh.
You're going to sound so much crisper.
Hello, do I sound crisp?
Like $1,000,000.
You sound
I'm
like a
so
different
glad
person.
that I could please you, Mr. Toft.
Oh, that's how it
That
goes.
is what I live
I'll see
for.
myself out now.
I will see myself out. Well, guys, tonight we're talking about finding balance. And actually, this was Sean's idea. Like,
It really was.
it was his own creation.
Yeah.
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 That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I was just sitting there and I was like, I was like, I got some work to do, right? I got some work to do, got some hours to fill, but I want to do this. I'm just not feeling it right now. And it was really hard for me to weigh it out, like, what's more important? Work comes first, you can have the pleasure later. And it was just finding that balance.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. For her.
For him. For everybody. Anyways.
Yeah.
We are talking about balance tonight, and it's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah, everybody needs balance. I mean, this has been a year of finding balance for us. And when we're talking about finding balance, we're talking
a
about
year. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, it's a lifetime of finding
It
balance.
is like a lifetime of finding balance.
And,
I
you know-
hand him the notes, he throws them on the ground. Want to know why? Because he wasn't the one that wrote them.
I don't need fucking notes.
When you write them, you're like, follow the notes, Priscilla.
Well, okay.
Follow the notes
and
or
I think,
die.
what's the rule in the podcast? The one rule, 100% transparent, right?
Always.
And I think Sean suggested this because you're juggling a lot right now.
This was
A whole
Sean's
lot.
idea. This entire podcast was Sean's idea.
Well, I mean, dude, you just moved a new place.
Yes.
And, you just got some news about your fiance's mom.
Yes.
You're juggling the average American with bills. You got a lot of shit going on there.
It's just, and balance, it goes in like financial balance even.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I have this much money to, pay my bills this month. I can't hit them all. What's more important? And it's just your priorities.
That's pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for everybody listening that's on Facebook Live right now, I'd love to see your opinions, what you guys want to hear. If you've got balance issues, chime in. Sean's monitoring the Facebook Live as we're podcasting. So questions that are coming in, yeah, look at that, dude. Questions that are coming in, Sean's just going to spew them off as we go about finding balance. I had a great time finding balance today on the mini bike.
Oh, that was fun.
If you guys haven't seen my IG story, I highly suggest going over to my IG. And actually, I put a post up too, but I'm not supposed to be on motorcycles until October 8th. And we have this little tiny 50cc
excuse
bike.
me. Hi. October 8th, maybe.
What?
Maybe. They said October 8th, maybe. At the earliest, maybe you can get on a bike.
Well, actually, Dr. Fishbein looked at me and he said, "No motorcycles for 3 months." That was the last conversation I had with him. He just looked at me and smiled and he shook his finger, wagged his finger at me, and he's like, "No motorcycles for 3 months."
Do you
Gabe.
people have any idea what it's like to moderate between him and motorcycles? And
It's impossible.
Oh
And
my
like literally,
gosh.
hang on, I'm gonna call this up. It's a slow mo. I put the cam out on the ground. And for those of you that are on the Facebook Live, I mean, they can't even focus on that, can they? You can. This is me. What I was doing today. There you go. I should have been resting. Just flying wheelies down the street on my daughter's 50cc motorcycle. So yeah, and I think, speaking of finding balance, I took the liberty of removing insurance off the R1, the street bike. Priscilla and I came to the decision that it was just a good way to save money since I wasn't going to be riding it.
$300 we save every month by having that.
$347 to be exact.
No, we pay $50 a month to have it inoperable in our garage.
Oh, so we're saving $300. Yeah,
Geico, you're being painful.
Yeah, well, State Farm said that it was like going to be $200 something if we switch.
Oh, just saying, guys.
Anyway, so we took the liberty of removing all insurance except for the, somebody drops the bike or tips over in the garage. And that coupled with the fact that my rear tire is so spent that I'm actually nervous to get on it and just go to the gas station. I've just totally worn it down. Those are the two things keeping me off the bike. Because if I had had today, I probably would have gone for a ride. You cannot put a camera in front of your face without you looking at it. This is not possible.
I've been trained.
There's you can see yourself. Look at that. You're so concerned. Look at you.
Am I really?
No, but I just see you wiggling over there to get in the view.
Because I know that if I don't, you're going to be like, "Where were you? Standing behind my camera." Blah, 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 blah. And then you'll give me a whole mouthful of things that I should have done because you're a perfectionist. And so here I am wiggling into view.
Wiggling into view. Sean, how's the audio from the crew?
Slowly getting into my...
What's more important, audio or face? How do I please you, you big gigantic human on a motorcycle? You two-wheeled big gigantic human. What am I supposed to do with you?
So what's the balance? Do I go, say screw it and go ride? 'Cause I have no pain. I feel like I'd be fine. I think it's just if I crash is what they're really worried about.
And
I don't know.
what this really comes down to, anybody that's listening to this podcast right now is an achiever. Done and done. If you're listening right now, there's no doubt that you're an achiever. Achievers are the ones that don't just achieve because it's easy. They face the greatest level of defeat and they're looking for a breakthrough. And so you guys are frustrated right now. You guys are wondering, why don't things just come to me? Why isn't this just happening easily, peacefully? Well, we're going to help you tonight achieve the dream that most people are dreaming of and that you will achieve. How about that?
Yeah, well, you know what? Before we do that, I think it's really important that we drop the fact that Sean and I have been busting our butts preparing a brand new program for everybody.
You guys, it's amazing what they've been doing.
Or two. Yeah, we're
Right.
finalizing 2 programs right now.
And managing the others. The things that you guys do. Oh
we're
my
finalizing
gosh.
Rev 2, and then, well, actually what happened is we were trying to finish the shoot last week with Rev 2 with Christina, but we rent a studio space from Culture Pop Films, and the owner and director, Jamie Toole, hits me up. He's like, "Yo, I got to shoot next week, so I need the lights in the studio." I'm like, "Okay, cool." That pushes us back a whole week. And it was Christina's birthday last week, by the way.
Happy birthday. Woo!
Yeah, don't all jump in at once. God.
Oh,
Happy birthday to Christina Williams. It was her birthday last week, so she took some time off to do the birthday stuff, and I think she had some things going on the weekend. Long story short, Sean and I capitalized on that. We knocked out all the filming for Big Arm Bible 2 with
You
Danny
know what?
Broadhurst.
Screw Christina's birthday. You know why? Because she never ages. I'm just saying.
No, she doesn't. She's timeless.
Yeah. So, why do we even celebrate a birthday on somebody who never ages?
Timeless.
Timeless. Seriously, the two of us go walking around in a club together, and she looks better than most of the 20-year-olds there.
Well, I mean, there is
I'm laughing and dying, and she's so sweet on top of that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't get to celebrate.
So you have to
birthdays.
consider,
Just
with
give up. on this whole
20-year-olds
birthday
and
thing.
22, 23, 24, 25-year-olds, they're just kind of getting started with life.
Well, or fitness.
Or whatever.
They're figuring out what their bodies are capable of.
At that point in your life, you know, you could look good, but you can't look as good as a female in her 30s. It's just not possible.
It's really funny because I was competing in my 20s and winning competitions, but I look way better on a daily basis than I did when I was in my 20s.
Oh, yeah. You've got years and years and years of consistency developing the muscle belly, developing the way that your body looks, the body fat percentage, your body, you know, it's people think that you can just go, well, this is a really good point because a lot of people, speaking of finding balance, you know, you had actually had a good bullet point you want to talk about, Sean. It was about people wanting to get in shape so bad that they'll go overwork themselves in the gym, right?
But then there's like Christina that defies all of the odds.
And so what I'm getting at is that people really think, oh, okay, I can go, you know, I can do a bunch of fucking steroids and I can get big real quick. And you've seen guys that are like fresh on cycles. Like they look big, but they don't look like they've been doing this for a long time. It's like, oh, you got some muscle, but you look at guys that have been doing it for
muscle maturity.
15, 20 years. There's a totally different look. You know, there's that muscle maturity. There's the defined muscle belly. There's a lot of shape that comes into play.
Oh, Sean smells really good.
Just random.
Did you take a shower today,
Sorry.
Sean?
Whoa.
I like that.
No, it's that Burberry cologne.
Burberry, yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Gabe turned me on to this supplement called berberine.
Yes.
And berberine balances your blood sugars and raises your metabolism.
It does. Actually, it decreases insulin sensitivity, right? No, increases. God, which way is it? The good way.
Decreases insulin sensitivity.
Whatever the good way is.
The good way.
I don't remember what it is.
And I've been very, very impressed with it. I've been taking it this week, and it's been very incredible and helpful. So you're wearing Burberry.
Burberry. Oh, you know what?
Burberry what?
I also just took off my shoes like as soon as you said that.
That smelled so.
So
Sean
that's
has such yummy smelling feet.
I guess.
It's my sweet feet.
I love the smell of Sean's feet. I wish for my feet to smell that way.
Well, anyway, but back to that, you know, we were talking about timelessness and the fact that, you know, there isn't a 20-year-old on the planet that's going to look as good as a female in her 30s. Even like a guy, like you could get guys that are big, but it's just the consistency and the nonstop nutrition, the nonstop workouts. That is what is going to get you that so sought after look that you see guys in their 30s and 40s with. It's
like all the fallacies that make you look the way that people think you're supposed to look. They're like, oh, if you have a kid, you're going to carry more body fat. Not true. I am way leaner naturally having had a child because I know how to friggin' work.
Well, that being said,
stuff like that. Or they're like, oh, you're a dad. You should be carrying more body fat. Should you?
No, dude. I'm redefining dad bod, yo.
Right? Right? Because you want to set an example for your family.
Yes.
So just saying, you have to kind of redefine the fallacies and punch the myths in the nose.
Well, all that aside, back to what we were doing, we decided to push forward with the Big Arm Bible 2. And so Sean and I have been tirelessly editing videos, putting everything together. We released a teaser. Was that today that we dropped that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it made me pee a little bit.
Yeah, it specifically said, don't pee your pants.
It's so
and
incredible.
Sean peed a little. But we released a small teaser today, let you guys know. And I think we're probably 2 to 3 weeks away from like actual launch. We probably got a week and a half of editing. And then given our developer a week and a half to put it together, I think, to finalize everything, and we can get launched. And so it's a 30-day program.
And seriously, that logo that you created is a little bit like cry-worthy. I was like, whoa!
It's low-key fire.
It's hot. What did we say?
So
It's
amazing.
lit AF fam?
It's lit AF fam.
Fam? Is that... It's bougie as fuck?
No, here we go.
No.
It's Gabe, it's only you that says bougie.
It is really, huh? Yeah. Sorry, I'm being a little extra.
Oh, on fleek. We can't forget fleek.
On fleek, yo.
Yeah.
You guys help me. I'm trapped in the room with these guys.
But Danny Broadhurst put this program together, and it's amazing because it's very counterintuitive to a lot of what we do here at Body Spartan. And I don't want to give any of it away. I'm trying to let it be a surprise. Danny comes with a lot of knowledge. He's one of the smartest, most intelligent guys I know. He's massive, and you look at him and you just think, I'm a meathead. Like, seriously. I mean, that's That's what you thought, P.
I
right?
mean, the first time I saw him, I was like,
Yeah, it's
he's got a good look or whatever, but who's going to speak for him? How are we going to do this thing? And then he starts talking, and I'm in the next room, and I walk in, and I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah, he was crushing it.
I'm like, is that Danny? And I walk in, and probably like an idiot, I interrupted, and was so impressed with his knowledge base. And he's such a gentleman on top of it. Like, this guy is seriously the real deal. And he's competing at the Tahoe show in 2 weeks. So there's a whole lot of deliciousness going on.
I think you mean he was going to win the Tahoe show in 2 weeks.
It's done.
Yeah, he literally was like, I'm going to take this show. And he looks like he's going to do it too. But I mean, the dude is so smart. I mean, he's like a walking encyclopedia for every bodybuilding term I can think of. Like the science behind it. I mean, we're talking about strength curves in the Big Arm Bible to when to eat, why to eat, theories behind.
We knew a lot. He melts our education level.
Yeah.
I've gone to school for years upon years upon years, and he walks into my living room, sits on my couch, and blows me away every time.
Well, and it's like, he doesn't just say it; he says it confidently. He's like, "No, actually, you're wrong." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, don't ever."
No, he's calling you out. He'll call you out if you're wrong.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to to be like, no, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. It's this. And usually when I hear that with somebody, I go, okay, so you're super overconfident and you're gonna just spit stuff out because you got an issue. With Danny, I sat and I listened. I'm like, oh shit, he's got a really good point.
He backs it up.
He backs everything up with solid science and just years of experience. And
how have we never had him on a podcast before?
We've been trying. We've just been super busy.
Yeah,
the nights are spent.
What
editing.
an excuse! Let's make this thing happen.
Well, yeah.
Do you guys want to hear him on the podcast?
Here, I'll text him right now.
If you want to hear, I'm like, I called Sean. And by the way, his answer to the last podcast when I called him.
Oh, geez.
For those of you that are faithful and you know that I called Sean, his answer was yes.
For all my gamers out there, I told Priscilla I was just playing Destiny and I couldn't pause. Sorry.
So yeah, you're gonna
saw
have
the
to
call
catch up.
come through from the co-founder, and he's like, "Destiny's more important."
Hey, you know what? You
Y'all
can't
are
pause.
definitely gonna have to catch up.
I mean,
On
I've
that
never
last
played.
podcast.
I was a big Halo guy when Halo was out, and I know Bungie, or what is it, 343 now?
343 took over. 343 took over the Halo franchise, but Bungie is still a thing, and they do Destiny.
Oh, well, imagine that. Look at that. Yeah, so I haven't played it, but I'm imagining it's pretty freaking rad. So anyway, the Big Arm Bible is coming out, and we're hoping for 2 to 3 weeks max to get that to you guys. Then Rev 2 will follow that, probably within 3 weeks after that for the ladies and anybody that wants an in-home program. And I don't want to limit it to the ladies because I was looking at Christina going, this is not easy. Like, this is rough, and the nutrition's solid. Like, her theory's different. We're using heart rate monitor training in it, so it's very science-based, and it's basically the theory of work smarter, not harder in Rev 2. You're working hard, don't get me wrong, but you're working within a very specific heart rate training zone, and it's basically the most innovative program we have because it's using technology to look at your vital stats and determine how much rest period or rest time you should have, and then when to restart your set based on that. So it's going to vary from person to person to person. It's a follow-along style workout, so you're going to be watching these videos live as you're doing them. So Christine will be right there with you. When I say live, obviously, we've pre-recorded it, but you're going to be watching them and following along. Your rest time is going to vary. You're going to hit pause, make sure you get to your correct heart rate, and then you're going to continue. I mean, it's really high-tech stuff. We're really stoked about it. So for those of you that don't know, we have every single one of our programs under what we call our All Access Pass. And the way it works...
Only the best value on the internet, by the way.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's a good call, dude. Because
I can't believe we're still doing this.
Why?
Because it's not affordable. Like, we're dying right now.
Right.
Like, allowing this opportunity. And I think that it's amazing, but I'm the one that does the books, and I'm just like, you guys are not seriously giving this away right now.
Well, I mean,
You're
you got to think of it
amazing.
this way. How do you stay ahead of the game, and how do you change lives? You offer more value than anyone else in your industry, and that's what we're doing. We've got a library of more programs than anyone else. I mean, literally, aside from Beachbody, who just does in-home programs, we are all in gym with the exception of Rev 2, which will be the very first in-home program. We've got the largest library. And there's no other programs
And
like
you
ours
guys have been begging for it. Here it
that
is.
do what we do, that have the technology behind what we do to calculate all your macros for you and display them the way that we do. with the videos, with the workouts. And so we bundle them all in the All Access Pass. When you sign up, there's a 14-day free trial. So you get 2 weeks on us to do any program you want. And along with that, you get to download the Big Arm Bible, which is a PDF. You get to download Priscilla's Six-Pack Mastery, which is an audiobook full of like every secret she had when she was training her would-be IFBB pros. You also, what else we got? Oh, The Secrets of Weight Loss. I Wish I Knew 100 Pounds Ago, an ebook by Priscilla. And then there's one other thing we're
And the
giving in
ebook
there. What else
is
is that?
every secret that I am sharing about how I lost 100 pounds
Yeah.
and kept it off.
I mean, these are things that you get to just download and keep. And literally, the Big Arm Bible is a 30-day program that there's just no way for us to lock it down. It's a PDF. And don't say one of, it's like the only program like it. It's a PDF. We made it. We thought it'd be easy for people to grab, and it doesn't fit with the All Access Pass model. And I'm like, you know what? We used to sell this at full price, and we're just literally giving it away when you sign up. So if you sign up, you can download the Big Arm Bible for free, the audiobook, and the Secrets of Weight Loss ebook. I'm really
trying to remember
struggling
what that
to talk.
used to retail for.
But
how
on
much
top
was
of that,
that?
Big Arm Bible?
Yeah.
The Bigger Bible was was like
was it 20 or 30
24
bucks?
on sale, 30
Yeah.
retail. But when you look at it, man, like programs like Ignite, they were 60, 70 bucks, and Genesis and Savage and all those other programs, those were $100 to $120 a pop. And now you can just try those out.
Gabe wants to give them away.
Well, what I
for
wanna do-
free for anybody who feels like having it for free.
What I wanted to do, not for free, but what I want to do was give people a chance to try it and just go, okay, because for years, I mean,
Okay,
how many,
liar
Sean, let me
pants.
ask you, how many times did you get a customer service message that said, hey, could I get a sample workout?
Oh, all the time.
It probably, until we switched over.
And every now and then, I'd go into the PDF and do a little snip tool. Oh, here's what this day looks like.
Yeah.
But it's like, what is that going to do to help you decide?
It's really
to
not.
purchase or not.
It's useless without the nutrition,
Yeah.
and it's useless without the preseason videos that describe and tell you about the theory that's going on, and it's useless without all the motivation that goes with it. And so I said, well, how long does it take to really get results? Can you see results in a week? Yeah, you can feel how hard these workouts are in a week. Can you get serious results in 14 days? Totally. And that's where I decided, let's give people 2 weeks to make some serious progress, and they can pick any program they want. You have access to every program we've ever designed, all the new ones coming out. It's not like you pick one, that's the only one you get. You can switch back and forth all you want. My recommendation would be to pick one of our shredding programs. If you've never done one, start with Genesis. The order is Genesis, G2, Ignite, Savage Shred, Forge 5X in that order. That's how the intensity order, with Forge being the most intense.
Where does Unleash fall into that?
Well, Unleashed is a bulking program. So it's a lean bulk. It's where if you are down and you're in like the 10% or less body fat range, that is usually where I tell people that's a good spot. You can see your abs, you're comfortable, you're at a body fat where you could take off your shirt and feel comfortable at a pool. And if that's where you want to be, if that's where you are, that's when you would jump on Unleashed, because you are going to put on a little body fat possibly. We've designed it as a lean bulk program. But I mean, just today, there was a guy, actually, let me read this to you. I got a great testimonial I screenshotted. And who was it? It was, where is it? Albums, photos. How do you get to the one where it like shows you
Where are you looking?
screenshots? I'm trying to find screenshots. Screenshots. There we go. Oh man, what a bummer.
What'd you do?
Maybe I didn't screenshot it. It was basically a guy who had said he's in week 2 of Unleashed, and I can't remember his name. Week 2 of Unleashed, and he's lost 0.4% body fat, which it's tough to measure that like that precise, but it's very, very possible.
Priscilla's bringing stuff. Hold on.
I ruined America.
What do you don't just leave it? But he gained 8 pounds. Gained 8 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks. And people are like, no, it's not possible, dude. I'm like, yeah, when you eat the way we tell you to eat on Unleashed and you do the workouts, they are all put together in a way that they work synergistically. I mean, like, if you, let's say, Sean, you were lean. I mean, you're already pretty lean.
Yeah.
But let's say you were like pool party lean.
Yep.
And you put on 8 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks.
I wouldn't believe it, honestly.
Right,
I'd be like,
dude?
whoa, what? But then I would tell myself I did something right. I stuck to the diet. I stuck to the workouts. I hit my macros. I didn't, go crazy.
Would you go past the 14 days?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's,
you
it's
kidding me?
83 days of a program. I mean, you can't go. It's almost 3 months of a program. Would you want to
For
continue?
the price of a Netflix subscription? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to like beat that, dude. So that's what we're offering, and it's a chance for you guys to try everything out and really come out on top. And if you don't like it, cancel. Keep the free gifts. You know, it's one of those things where I'd rather you get something for free and experience it, and then maybe come back later and go, you know what? I had nothing bad to say about Body Spartan. Their programs are actually pretty cool. Maybe I'll come back and sign up. Because our goal is to always ensure that you guys succeed. And it's not about the money. It's about your success. It always has been. It's been about changing one life a day. That's the goal. That's the mission statement, to change one life a day here at Body Spartan. So, bodyspartan.com, 14-day free trial, the all-access pass. Did I miss anything, man? What else? Oh, we got the IGF 300. Got that new the new IGF 300, which is the I call it Liquid Gains. So we just got that out a week ago. That's live. The Apollo nootropic, basically the brain focus formula, is out, guys. Go grab that. New SUPS 30 is the code for $30 off each bottle, and it's SUPS with 1P, SUPS. New SUPS and then the number 30. So go check those out. P's got some notes here, and I think Mia's up running around. She should be in bed. She's got some notes here, and then what we're trying to do is, she drafted the notes, so I don't really know what's going on. So what are we going to talk about, Sean? In the meantime, finding balance. Let's talk about finding balance. It's your podcast.
Yep,
you're leading.
Apparently, I was told this morning that it was my podcast.
Yeah, it's your podcast. You're leading. So what do you want to talk about balance, bro? Like, what's going on in your life that made you go, let's talk about finding balance?
Honestly, it was when it came to my finances, man. And I'm not going to get too deep into them and, what goes where and all that. But it was more of like finding out what's important, my month-to-month needs. Rent, of course. Okay. You got to pay your car. You got to pay down some, past credit cards. And I don't know.
What else? Like, is there a balance that you wish that you had that you're not finding?
Thank you. That's exactly it. So, I got myself into a hole. I'm not going to go too deep into it, or deeper than I'm already.
I mean, we just talked about us filing for bankruptcy last week.
Exactly. So
podcast. So, everybody
okay.
knows that P and I filed for bankruptcy.
So I racked up, quite a bit of credit card debt, and then I look back and I'm like, why did I buy all this crap? It's little crap, and it's more of
like, what was it?
I can't even think of it, dude. Like. That's how much crap it is. I can't even remember.
So just
dude.
like kind of this like impulse buys, basically.
Impulse buys. Amazon makes it so easy when you see that 2-day.
The one click. The one click.
You know what? I've never fallen a victim of the one click. I don't do that. I add to cart and I do it that way. But when you have Amazon Prime and it gets there in 2 days, it's like, oh, I'll get this, I'll get this, I'll get this, I'll get this. I'll just put it on this credit card. I'll pay this off, and then you realize, oh crap, I'm in this hole.
Yep.
And the balance I needed to find at the time, looking back, was have a little fun now. Save the money,
right,
and have fun later.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And I didn't do that.
But I think everybody has to experience that, because that's just the way that we work in this country. It's, hey, in your face credit card application, get this now, instant approval.
12 months, no interest.
It's like, oh, how do I say no to that? I can easily pay that off in 12
You don't have
months.
to make a single payment for 6 months. Oh.
Is that what they're doing now?
Oh, yeah.
See, I have one credit card for the business because of the bankruptcy, and we only have one. Everything else is cash basis, so I don't even know what's available anymore.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you don't have to pay your first payment or no interest for 6 months, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I can buy this now and just deal with that later.
Yeah, in 6 months, I'll make my first payment, and there's still no interest for another 6 months.
And then you realize, oh, that 6 months went by real quick, and you've been buying crap this whole time.
So it's basically the power of now is what we're really looking at, and the ability to have things that are outside of a living. We really covered a lot of this last week. It's things that we don't necessarily need to be happy, but we feel like they will fill one of the human needs. So, for example, you might have needed some variety in your life, like from whatever it was. Like maybe, I know you're a gamer, like I'm a computer guy, so I'm guessing some was like computer stuff and game stuff.
Computer stuff, some games, which, after I bought it, I didn't touch or I didn't like, and I couldn't do anything about it. And it was more of like, why am I spending this money for this temporary
fulfillment?
When I can save this money and have eternal fulfillment in the future.
And I'm guessing too.
May I interject?
You're thinking like
he's talking about doing things for himself, but that's not Sean. Like, he does those things. Okay, cool, yay, have a party. But he does so much for other people. He's like, what does my girlfriend need? She needs a car. I want to buy her a car. I want to buy this. Or I'm sorry,
never
not
did
even a
that,
girlfriend,
though, but-
fiance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You do so much for her. And you do so much for others to make other like gifts.
Just to
oh
make
my
this
gosh,
clear,
this
just in
guy
case
goes
just in case
bonkers
she's
at
listening, I never
Christmas.
bought her a car, but it was something I wanted her to buy her dream car one day. Just to clarify.
You have so much love for her and humans in your life, and I have heard constantly about the gifts that you get for other people or the things that you want to get for other people. That's a real thing. And here we are spending money on credit cards.
Yeah.
When wouldn't I'm sure she would rather have you hold her hand and walk
much.
like somewhere
Or save that money for our future,
exactly.
But-
But you put it on yourself because you're a giver.
I think the big thing that a lot of people go through, and Sean, I'm sure you can attest to this, is that you look at life and I preach this a lot. I'm like, hey, you get one life, do those things that you want, start now, do this now. And we're talking about the power of now with buying credit cards and this whole finding balance theme of the podcast. I'm sure at one point going through your head, you're like, well, when am I going to get this if I don't do it now?
Right.
Like, am I going to be 60 years old with gray hair and then I can have my, computer game kind of thing that I want?
Or it's like, she wants to, have a kid and start a family sooner than I would
yes.
like. But I'm sitting here like, well, I still
Go,
want
Jess,
to
go,
do
Jess.
my own thing. I don't want to be committed to a family
Yeah.
quite yet.
Although Sean is going to be the best dad in the whole
she
wide
says
world.
that. I don't know.
Oh, no, you will.
This gentleman sitting to my right and to my left, of course, too. But Sean, like seriously, he will get down on the floor and play ponies with our daughter, and he plays, and I'm
Fact.
like dying
Total fact.
laughing. Like the way that he creates these scenarios, you're going to be an amazing dad.
Yeah, you
and
will,
so
man.
Go,
It's
Jess.
obvious.
I am your biggest fan because this man right here needs to have children. Is my foot stupidly on camera?
Well, it's bouncing everything, and I'm worried that something's going to break because our table's kind of flimsy. Because we're on
And
a budget.
also awkward foot.
No, awkward foot's fine. It's just
Awkward foot.
it keeps
How about this
pushing
awkward
everything.
I
foot,
want to
guys?
put it. Everybody put your awkward foot up.
It's like 6 inches too far, and it's about to tip.
Okay. My feet are really cute. I was just making them
Put
look
your
weird,
right
like,
foot
"Wah."
in, put your right foot out. Oh,
That
sorry.
used to be my favorite song when I was a kid.
But the idea
okay.
that the fulfillment now, one of the 6 human needs is significance. The other was and you needed certainty, uncertainty, significance, growth, love in the human connection, and contribution.
I love
6
that you're
human needs.
bringing this up.
And
it's perfect.
any one of those gives temporary fulfillment. And so, Sean, you're looking at that. You had some variety. So you buy some new things, you get a little variety in your life, right? A little uncertainty because you're like, oh, I can do this and I don't got to worry about it for 6 months. And in the back of your head, you're like, well, 6 months, I still got to deal with that. So you get a little uncertainty and variety. What else? Well, is it really just one? It's like a little variety. Is that what it is? Maybe significance
No.
because now you've got some cool stuff going on with your computer upgraded
Honestly,
parts.
I think
Certainty.
I think
too.
it's.
huge.
And I'm not trying to feel bad for Sean. It's not that at all.
No, we're just kind of dissecting what's going on.
I've never been one to have a lot of friends. And the 2 best friends of mine, one of which is watching right now. He keeps bugging me. He's calling me out.
Who is it? Who is it?
My buddy Ben. Shout out Ben.
What's up, Ben?
Yo,
We
Ben,
love
what's up,
you.
Ben? Hey.
Mr. 6'9".
Yo, what?
Whoa.
Oh, 6'8.5".
Oh, extra,
But, you know.
that extra half inch, man.
Prove
But anyway,
it,
where
Ben.
was I going? Oh yeah.
The
Anyway,
extra half inch is really important.
Show us how tall you are, Ben. We love it. It's hot.
he has to duck through the door.
So not a lot of friends.
But not a lot of friends, and growing up, I still don't. I have you guys. I have my fiance. I got her sister, and
But we're like family.
But it's like
It's
I
different.
need something to get me away from that. Something to do for fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't have friends where I can just let's go to the movies. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. It's like, well, no, let's go do my own
I
thing.
used to have that.
Can
I don't have that anymore.
Can I just dig in a little bit more with what he just said?
Yeah, but before you do, let me just say for everybody listening, as you get older, you will notice that your circle of friends will become very small.
Wrong.
Shut your
I
pie hole
love
for
you,
about 30
and I
seconds.
completely disagree.
You're gonna have to wait until I'm
Okay.
done, and then you can interject when I'm done, when I'm finished actually with the thought,
Okay.
before you completely crush what I'm
Okay.
saying. That makes perfect sense. As you get older and wiser, you will notice that your circle of friends will become smaller and smaller, and this is typically due to shedding of a non-vibrational match. So when we get on our life paths, you will notice that if you have a certain goal in mind, if it's fitness and you're trying to change your body and you're trying to be like an elite fitness competitor, whatever it might be, you're kind of going to notice like, okay, if you're in the gym, you're going to attract other gym rats. And they may be guys that, what I ended up doing was attracting guys that wanted to be successful in business as well. I wanted to be a gym rat and I wanted to have a fitness company that was very successful. So I attracted people magnetically through the correct vibration that were of the same caliber. And so what we end up doing is whatever life path we're on, we attract people with the same vibration. And those that don't match, so whatever your current goals are, Sean, like you're working with us, like, I mean, you're like my right-hand guy, dude. This company would collapse without you. So this is one of your, you spend a lot of hours, more hours than most people, building this company with me. So this is a huge part of your life right now. And so people that aren't on similar trajectories with this, with your hobbies, the things you like you're a gamer, with badass, dude. Like I've got a ton of Howie's a gamer.
That's my one hobby.
Yeah. Howie does the same thing though. Like does Howard Perry, like he's a massive gamer as well. And it's like everybody has their hobbies. You guys are gamers. I ride and race motorcycles. P meditates, and we attract.
That's my
or laundry. I don't know. What is it that you do?
Oh my gosh.
And the entire internet is
This
triggered in
child
3, 2,
does not know me.
1.
Yo, what's the delay on the stream? Oh, man.
This child doesn't even know.
All the strong women jump in.
He's like,
right
as
now.
long as I have underwear in my drawer, my wife is a good human.
And socks. I always.
Oh,
need-
and socks.
And as long as you're not wearing
And
my socks.
And as long as I'm not wearing.
But the circle will shrink, and what you'll notice is that it will shrink to the point where you might have no friends. And I've been in those phases before. And what you'll also
I just
notice,
pulled a Brandon.
yes, you did pull a Brandon. What you'll also notice though is that when you decide that you are ready for more friends, you're going to notice that they fit the MO of your current vibration.
Raise your hand if you're crying. Wait, what?
Why are you crying?
Because you're just like, yeah.
Oh, I was like,
like happy crying.
Roadhouse.
triggered?
Boom. Well, no, like yes, like everything you're saying.
Well,
yes.
People will begin to match your vibrational modus operandum, your vibrational MO. And then if you're smart about it and you listen to the universe and you start to observe what's going on around you, you will start seeing people come into your lives that are exactly what you need. And it's important to consider this fact too. When you're trying to find that balance, if you are surrounding yourself with people that are not on your same trajectory and that are a little, I don't want to sound arrogant when I say this, but like a little below where you are.
Just say it. That's exactly true.
I don't want to make people think that
Vibrationally.
vibrationally not where you're at. So maybe people are focused more on things that are a little more negative than you are. Like, I mean, you got a real positive outlook 99% of the time.
I try
Sean.
to.
Yeah, I mean, it shows. You're super positive. But we all have or have had or currently have those friends that are always bitching about something, or they're always into like political arguments and they need the world to see their cause, or the first thing they do and they, hey, what's up, bro? Oh, what's up, man? Man, what a fucking shitty day I had. This fucker cut me off on the way over here. Oh, I got it. And the first thing they do is tell you a story about negativity. Or they always have, let's say you're trying to rise above financial issues and you're trying to get your ducks in a row right now. Like you're doing everything you can so that you and Jess can, she's talking about having a family. And so you're going, okay, I got to start thinking that way. And I got to start saving my money, paying off some of my debt so I can be prepared for when she does want a family, right? If you're surrounding yourself with friends that are in situations that are similar but aren't trying to dig themselves out,
they're just going to hold you back.
They're not only going to hold you back, but you're going to be constantly trying to pull them up to you and help them out, and it's going to drag you down. So you have to. This is a really good point because we're trying to find balance. That's the gist of this podcast. You got to find that balance with how many people are you helping versus how many people are helping you.
And hold on, just like a little side note. Do you want other people to talk? Because maybe you do. Because just saying, it's not just because you get older that you lose friends. It's because you get wiser, you reach for something higher. And that's where I started jumping on with what Gabe's saying, because it's true. When you're reaching for a spiritual ascension or an emotional ascension, people are going to drop off, and you have to be okay with the fact that you might not have friends at all for a hot minute.
Been there.
And maybe you're just a jerk and that's why you don't have friends, because that also could be a truth. So also been there, right? But look at your life and say, are these relationships serving me? Are these relationships something that I desire in my life? And then winding that all back into balance. The goals, the desires that you want in your life. Are those serving your higher purpose? Are those things that you really desire? Have you made your list of 10 things that you want to accomplish in your life?
What is this list?
I'm thinking 10 things. 10 things that you want to create in your life. Use the 6 human needs. We constantly are pounding that into these poor, sweet souls. We're like, hey, what's creating certainty? What's creating variety or uncertainty? We go through them with you guys constantly. But have you made a list of what things are really fulfilling me? How am I really wanting to grow in my life? You write 10 things down. But you'll notice.
And what do you do with those 10 things? So say you write them down. What's the action items after that? And let's get a little more specific too. So you have 10 things that you want to do in your life. Are we talking about like, I want to see, the next Marvel movie? I want to see, what do they call it? Phase 2? Is that what it's called? Oh, actually, you're not a Marvel guy.
I'm not a Marvel guy.
I'm talking about
you're like 2 movies in right now, right?
I can't even remember now.
God.
I'm talking about inspiring life goals that fill in the needs of the 6 human needs.
I want to get I'm going to use my heart surgeon. I want to be a heart surgeon and save lives. I want to travel the world. I want to see Paris.
Oh, no, get real. What do you really want?
Well, what do you mean?
What do you really want, Mr. Tuft?
What do you... Try again.
Your 10 goals, your 10 desires.
Oh, you put me on the spot?
I mean, I could put Sean on the spot, or I could put Johnny on the spot.
You want to be on the spot?
No.
Sounds like tail between legs.
Just start going down.
That is shrinking down in the chair.
I mean, think about it. Think about financial needs. Those are usually needs of certainty.
Most of my desires revolve around helping other people.
Contribution,
so
love and connection.
One of the things that I want to do is make a gigantic. Let's go through 10. So you mark them off. I want to make a gigantic impact on this planet and change at least one life every single day through the work we do here at Body Spartan.
Boom.
And by changing a life, I don't just mean, getting somebody on a fitness program, they lose 10 pounds. I'm talking about changing them physically and emotionally so they can unlock their true potential and see what they're capable of.
May I pause you for just 1 second? You guys, if it compels you to tears, because I'm over here like choking back tears because that's what we built this company on. If it compels you to tears, it's a freaking list.
It might be the Burberry cologne.
It might be the cologne.
Or it could be the feet.
My feet are a little closer now.
Yes. So please keep going.
So that's 1. 2, financial stability for my family and my friends. Yeah, definitely certainty. So anybody that's working for me, like my goal is to build this company so big that we all have financial stability. The ability to, you got to really watch that cord, babe. You're about to knock that off. The ability to, Sean, like I love to have this company a place where, you don't have to worry about the things that you're worried about right now. And like we're all not worried about finances. And at the same time, it's not like we're greedy, but we deserve to be compensated for the things that we've done. I like living modestly. I don't have a problem with that, but I'd like to...
No, not true.
What do you mean?
Not true. Not true.
You
do
like
not like living modestly.
Well,
it's uncomfortable.
What I should have said was I like living...
I'm fine with it.
I like living within our means.
Yes.
That's what I really enjoy.
But we like our means to be big and to...
So financial stability is number 2.
Give that, yes.
Number 3 on the big list would be to travel. Mm-hmm. There's lots of places I want to go. I've never been to Paris. Bali,
You've
Fiji.
been to Paris.
No, I haven't.
You have,
I have not. How much do you want to bet on that?
Oh my gosh, you hit your head so many times.
No, I never got to Paris. I went to Lyon, France. I was on the SmackDown tour.
You never got to Paris?
Raw went to Paris. We went to Lyon.
You went to Lyon and you did not go to Paris.
Both times. Yeah.
I'm going to take you to Paris.
Well.
And I'm going to make out with you so close to the Eiffel Tower that it's going to make your head spin.
And I'm going to be there with the camera.
Poor Sean. He's like, I hate these guys.
Body Spartan after dark. Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
But at that moment, it's going to be Booty Spartan. What now? Number 4.
No, I want to race motorcycles. I want to do an expert race, a pro race. I want to be on the AMA grid in Moto America. So, there's another one. I mean, those are 4 pretty solid ones. I want to make sure that my daughter is well-rounded and has every opportunity that she has to be whatever it is that she wants to be in life. So if we see something in her, if I see something along the way that she's excelling in, I want to make sure that I can carve out
cinematography.
enough time to be there as a father. You can't be putting your feet on this table.
Yeah,
I
she
don't know where
last
to
time
put
I'm going
my
to tell you.
feet.
she actually was just playing footsie.
Sean, will
with me. It
you
was a
grab
little
that
weird.
corner and push it my way? Like, see how this is hanging off?
Yeah.
Like, very careful. There we go, right there. There we go. That way the whole table doesn't collapse on us.
Raise your hand if you would be horrified at my behavior.
Um,
Or if I'm okay, send a heart. Who loves?
oh, look at that. No hearts. Wow.
They're coming.
Look at that.
Wow.
No hearts.
No hearts.
Zero hearts. Oh, your behavior is not okay.
I feel
so
pretty.
there's
I feel
five.
pretty great about me. I like me.
There's five, and basically we could spend the rest of the podcast talking about this, but there's five, and we did this
There's
in
my hearts,
under
jerks.
5 minutes.
There's my hearts,
we came up with
jerks.
some serious life
Now they're
goals.
coming through. Just saying, I'm validated.
Do you need me to validate you?
Not
I don't
you.
approve of your foot
we
behavior.
we have viewers validating.
I don't
me.
approve of your
need-
foot behavior.
I can just hear my mom in the back
look
of
at
my
all
head.
look at all the love right now. Wow, I love you guys so much.
It's all one.
I
person.
can just hear my mom. Wait for your turn to speak.
I'm fine
wait
if
for your
it's just
no. You
one
don't.
person.
You don't wait for your turn to speak in
I'm
this
fine
podcast.
with it with just one person because those hearts and smiles and laughs and everything. I love you guys so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Well, okay, so let's, guys, if you're listening, write down the 10 things that you want to do in life and take some time. I mean, we did this in under 5 minutes. I got 5 out because they're really dear to my heart. But if I wanted the other 5, I'd probably have to think really hard about it. And you know what? Curious. Sean, you're on the spot.
What's up?
Let's come up with 5 things that you want to do in life.
5 things I want
And
to do.
they don't have
in
to
life.
match mine. They just what are the big life goals for
No,
you, man?
honestly, I would love to travel. But you know what's funny is I'm not huge about traveling the world.
And
I
we
wanna- I
make
wa- I
you
wanna tra-
travel, and you're like, my fiance doesn't like it.
I want to travel the country. And is that weird? I don't
No.
care about, go to Europe. You know what? That's cool. That'd
have
be
you
nice.
been around the States yet?
I haven't. You know that. When we started the Bodies Barn tour,
Oh, that's right.
Seattle, Houston. Okay, I'll tell you all the places I've been. I've been to Arizona.
Okay.
I've been to Seattle, obviously.
Because you went with us.
Yep. Texas, went with you guys.
Okay.
Do we count Las Vegas as
Yes,
Nevada?
absolutely.
Do we count that?
Absolutely.
That's Nevada.
And Tijuana, if you want to count that.
That's Mexico.
That's
In
about it.
Southern California, we played so hard.
Oh, yeah, San Diego.
Oh, that. I can still chase.
LA,
I can still taste the Johnny
LA.
Walker Black.
The what?
The Johnny Walker.
Oh, God.
I mean, this guy's been some places in California, in the United States.
But I'd love to go to New York. Go to
Times Square.
Louisiana would be cool. Yeah.
New Orleans? Yeah, man.
Like.
So this is really interesting point because I didn't think I wanted to travel until I got out with WWE and I was forced to travel. And then I started seeing the entire United States.
That's how I felt about the When We Went on tour.
And-
I was like, oh, Seattle's cool. Houston's cool. Like,
Culture is just so different from state to state,
Very.
right?
Yeah.
And then once you've been across the United States and you're traveling, I would guarantee that you probably want to see the rest of the world.
Oh, of course.
Because you're going to go, oh, well, this is what the States is like with this much diversity, wait till I get over like Norway or France or Europe
Yeah.
or whatever. So you want to travel the States. There's one. What
Yeah.
else?
What
We
else
got
do I
4
want?
more to go. What are the big goals in life? Like, what do you want?
I want to be financially sad. Okay, you know what? People want to be millionaires and billionaires, right? I don't want that. That's too much responsibility. I don't need that kind
Lie.
of money. No, really. I want enough money to where I can live happily in a very nice house and be able to provide. And, my future wife doesn't have to work. You know what I mean? She can raise their kids, and that's what I want. I don't need $1 billion.
Certainty.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, certainty. That fulfills a massive
And he
human
said,
need.
very nice house, significance,
Yeah.
loving connection, the wife. That meets all his human needs. Like I'm looking through them and I'm like, that pretty much meets everything.
So there's 2. Got 3 more to go. Put you on the spot.
Finally, I have the balls to do something extreme, kind of like riding motorcycles or something, like
Something with a little
What?
adrenaline.
What are we gonna do?
Wild.
Boys
Maybe
Something
skydive?
wild.
What are we gonna do?
skydiving.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
Speaking of skydiving, I don't know how old her grandma is, but my fiance's grandma went skydiving for her birthday. I think. It was,
Shut.
I don't think she's in her 70s yet.
She's gotta be.
Whoa.
I don't think so. I don't know. She might be, but she
Let's
went
get her on the
skydiving for her
podcast.
birthday, and I'm like, wow.
It's one of those things that I'm
Wow.
petrified to do. I've always wanted to, but I hate heights. I mean, if I look
like
out
'em.
if I look out the window here, I get a little queasy.
Yeah.
I hate heights. I don't like being on planes unless I'm actually flying the plane. then I think it's a control thing. But the whole thought about jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with this plane. Why should I jump out of it?
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's an example. They've got the rebounders, like it's the trampoline place over here in Roanoke
over
Park.
by Target?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we take Mia there a bunch, and they've got this separate section. It's the Ninja Warrior course over there.
Okay.
And they've got one area where it's got like a giant inflatable pad, and it's got a huge drop that you just jump off of.
Okay.
You got to wait your turn, and it's got to be like a 20-foot drop. You know, it's pretty big.
Especially
and
for a
Mia
child.
was probably 4 or maybe 5.
She was 4 or 5.
Whatever, and she wanted to do this thing. I'm all, oh, okay. And so I'm up there. I'm at the bottom watching her, and she's walks out to the edge of the plank. She looks at me, and she kind of walks back. She's like, I'm scared, Dad. I'm all, do you want me to go first? She's like, yeah, you go first. I'm all, oh, okay. So, and they make you step off and fall backwards. So you step forward. You have to cross your hands, and then you gotta kind of like lean back as you step off. And it's so you land flat and you don't fall on your face or land in a weird way. But I've never fallen that far, and the sickening feeling of my stomach in my throat is all I can remember.
Is it kind of like when you're going, like when you're your first roller coaster and you go down your first drop, and
Yes.
that feeling you get?
But worse.
Because
I love roller coasters, and I love
me
that
too.
feeling. I think it's because it's controlled. Like I can see the track. I
Yep.
know where I'm going. It's fun.
yeah.
This is just like total free fall, and like your stomach just up in your throat. I'm like, and it was like it hurt, and I hit the pad. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, there's no way she's doing that. And I roll off. I look up.
And she's already halfway down.
She's taking a step off. I'm like, no way. My kid's going to do this. And so she takes a step, falls all the way down, sits up, starts screaming. I'm like, oh
Petrified.
no, she's broken. You know?
Or was she excited?
She
was
was so
pissed.
She was
petrified.
She gets so
She was
mad.
totally fine, but petrified. Like,
Yeah.
never want to do that again, Dad, sort of thing. And I looked at him like, I totally understand. I hated it too.
But the fact that she went up there and did it, that's crazy. Because
Exactly.
I remember, was it 6th grade? We had outdoor education.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had that when you were in school, but it was kind of like you go for a week to like a campground. It was like a bunch of lodges and stuff like that. What was that look for?
I kicked her foot because she was putting her foot on
I
the
thought you
table.
guys had
Like,
like
And I was-
outdoor education memories or something. Like, whoa, what's this going on? I went to the boys' side of camp.
snuck over.
No,
a bottle
he
of
was
rum.
actually the first boy that I kissed and the first boy that I made love to on our wedding night.
Oh, that's a story probably nobody knows. Wow.
I know.
Well, let me
We'll
finish
talk
what I was
about that
saying.
another night. More importantly,
go, Sean.
So about 6th grade, I think it was, outdoor education. It's a week. It's campground, nice cool lodges and all that stuff. And they had this thing called the flying squirrel.
that
Oh, yeah.
sounds so awful.
And it's just, there's a line and I can't remember if you hold on
Like
to
a
it.
zip line?
I don't know if you're like, I'm pretty sure you're strapped in somewhat.
Okay.
And you just zip line across the open field. And it was probably about 20 feet up. What?
I think we bumped. There we go. Okay,
There we
we're
go.
back.
And I just chickened out. I couldn't do it.
Oh, really?
I just couldn't do it. And looking back, I'm like, man, you should have smashed that shit. But
I
you know.
remember something like that too, and I think I was nervous the first time.
Or like the Sonoma County Fair years ago, I was probably like 12 or 13 maybe. They have those rock climbing walls.
Yeah.
Got like halfway up and I'm like,
It's scary up there,
But
right?
but I'm not afraid of heights. I don't know what it was. I think it was more of like, I felt like I wasn't in as much control as I wanted to be in that situation.
Yeah. It's weird, right? When you get up there. Okay, dude, I want to stay on your goals,
Yeah.
but I have an interesting story about heights because we're talking about me being afraid of heights. This is kind of like a random story, guys. It's got nothing to do with finding balance, but you'll find it kind of interesting. In college, there was I lived with a guy. I was his roommate. His dad owned the house. Next door, there were like it was a group of 4 or 5 guys that were renting a house. I think it was 4 guys, and another one of their like really good friends. His name was Chad, and Chad's dad was a pole climber for PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. So if you're listening and you're back east, PG&E is our electric company. And he was a pole climber. So dude knew all about like tying knots and stuff like that and climbing. And they did rappelling. So they would find like these random places to go and drop these lines off of, and they hook up and line up and they just rappel off these crazy places. I didn't know that at the time. So one night I get a knock at the door, and it's my buddy Nick El Hilu. And I don't remember who. I think Chad might have been with him. And he goes, "Hey Gabe, do you want to do something crazy tonight?" I go, "Yeah, I'm always down for something crazy." And he goes, "All right, so meet next door at 11 o'clock, and we're going to an undisclosed location." And I'm just all, "Wait, why so late? It was like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, why so late, first of all? And why can't you tell me where we're going? He's like, well, can't tell you. We'll talk about it later. What are we doing? Can't tell you. Okay. So I show up. Actually, you weren't there for this first one, were you? No, you came later.
I was
What'd you do?
I was nearby and like, I'm not doing that.
No. You didn't go to the first one. You weren't there. You went to the second one, but you didn't go to the first one.
I decided that I was not going to go because you guys are crazy.
You weren't even there. No, you went to the second one, and you decided not to do it. But the first time, I walked next door, and we hop in. Nick had like a Chevy Tahoe, I think is what it was. And we hop in his Tahoe, and another car guys, and everybody drive out to Poly Canyon. So this is down in San Luis Obispo. It's at Cal Poly University, and the Poly Canyon is this giant canyon. And what runs across the canyon? The train bridge.
Trucks.
Oh,
and this bridge is 100+ feet up. And he goes, "We're going rappelling." I'm like, "Rappelling?" I'm like, "You talking about rock climbing?" He's like, "Oh, we're gonna free rappel or whatever it's called." And I just like, "What?" He's
like base jumping.
Well, it's pretty much like that. So the way it goes is we crawl up this canyon, and then we get to the train trestle, like the bridge. And I just look, I'm like, "Are we going to walk across the bridge where the train runs on a daily basis?" Like, "No, we're going to go on the bottom maintenance thing." I'm all, "What?" And I look, and here is this, like the width of this table, dude. So it's maybe 2 feet wide.
I mean, it's like a maintenance elevator.
It's like a maintenance walkway under. Okay. So the tracks are on top. The bridge has got vertical side panels.
Oh, then underneath.
And so then there's this like chicken wire looking grate that you walk across. And then this same distance. So, I mean, the whole thing's probably 6 feet wide. And you have about 2 to 3 feet to walk on. And then it's open to below on the other side.
There's no like netting, nothing?
Oh, no. Just like beams that go across. And so there's like...
Netting? When have you seen
this is legit. This is legit in the middle of nowhere. Stupid college kids. We go to the center of the bridge. We are 100+ feet up. Maybe 120, maybe 130. I don't know. It's really tall.
There was no net.
And I'm just, you know me, I'm scared of heights. I'm like, what am I doing up here? And then I watch the guys set up. And basically they set up a rappelling rope. And they had all this, like all these gear, these harnesses you put on and stuff with the carabiners and like the real ones, like the figure eights. And Chad's like, "Okay, we're going to tie this ball and knot, blah, 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 blah." I don't know what you're doing. He's like, "Oh, don't worry. I'll go first. And then this guy will tie you up." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I watch Chad. And he steps out, like he swings out. They got it all hooked up, and he swings off the little maintenance walkway into that area between the vertical like side of the train trestle where there's just nothing, and the rope's straight down to below, goes all the way to the ground. And the only way to get down through it is to turn upside down. Like he literally has to hang upside down, slowly let out the rope until he's out of the shaft, the train or the train trestle area, and then you can kind of flip back up vertical. And he goes all the way to the ground. I'm like, this is like super sniper
this is
shit
like
going on,
such a life lesson because the only way you can get down safely is to let go, to submit and let go, which is the story of life.
It's so true.
But go on, please.
And so they hooked me up, and they're like, "Gabe, you're next." I'm, "Oh, okay." When a couple guys had gone, I'm like, "Oh my god, what am I doing? What am I doing?" And I like swing out. I'm like, "Okay, I trust you guys that this works." You know, my feet, my toes are like curled right now. I'm like super nervous. And so I swing out, and they're like, "All right, upside down." So here I am, totally inverted. I'm looking 100, 130 feet down, whatever it is, I don't know, at the ground. I'm like, oh my god, what? And I just slowly start like inching out the rope. It's like, zzz, zzz, and you got to wear. Oh, and they told us to bring garden gloves. You know, so I got these big garden gloves.
Oh yeah, they're like, meet us at midnight.
So you don't
bring
get rope
garden
burns.
gloves.
They're not like pro. They're just garden gloves. I'm like, okay, and I just a little bit out.
Bring garden gloves
until I get to the.
Do not ever go with someone who says, "Meet me at midnight and bring garden gloves."
Yeah,
it is never a good idea.
Bad idea. So I get out from underneath the bridge and I start putting myself upright, and I let out a little bit, and all of a sudden the guy's like, whoa, stop. And, you know, like literally, dude, you know, the butthole pucker? You're like, I'm dead. Because there is nothing. There is one rope.
You mean the butthole pucker I use when I try holding farts?
Yeah, that's the one.
Or like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That's the one. And so, you know, there is one rope. There's no safety line that if that rope breaks, it catches you. It is a single rope. And
there's no
hooked to
net.
it. If they tied a bad knot, I'm screwed.
God.
If my harness wasn't on right, I'm dead. if it wasn't wired, or if the rope didn't run through the figure eight correctly, I'm dead.
So at this
Right.
point, you're just
They're
hoping
yelling
Mr.
at me,
PG and he
like,
did it right.
freaking me out, stopping.
Exactly.
And I'm 10 feet down from the bridge. I'm too far down to climb back up, and I'm too far up to go down. I'm just in my head. I'm like,
People, this is
what?
unsafe.
And so I'm sitting. I'm
Do
like,
not
what?
ever do this.
What? And I'm frozen. So I'm like, what? And then I hear Nick from down below. He's like, look around. I'm all, what? He's like, take a big breath and look around. Like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, you're 100 feet up. Look around. I'm like, oh. And I took in that moment. They just wanted me to soak in the moment of being 100 feet up in a total free fall position. And I just stopped and I looked around. I'm like, oh my God. I'm 100 plus feet up and I could see everything. Like I could see San Luis Obispo. I could see down below me where there were no lights, which was really scary. But I was just kind of hanging there, just slowly twisting like,
You could hear it twisting too.
yeah. And I'm just all, this is something that not a lot of people get to experience. But
Do you
to do that,
guys?
you had to conquer fear.
You had to let go.
You had to let go, like Priscilla said. And you had to just be present in the moment to actually get the full experience. And once I was done soaking it up, I'm like, all right, cool. They're like, all right, go for it. I just, all the
And
way down,
this-
dude. It was the coolest thing I'd ever
This
done.
is the essence of balance, and also the essence of wetness.
Whoa.
Just thinking of Zoolander. But this is the essence of balance,
Merman
my
pop.
friends. If you're able to stop halfway through and just take a minute and look around, you'll see that the fall is not as bad as you thought it was, and that you are in far more control than you thought you were. One of the techniques that I use for balance is I'll go over to my laundry area when I feel like things are completely and utterly under control. My husband does cardio and then he lifts. Well, not right now, but usually he does cardio, he lifts. Can you imagine how many clothes, how many pieces of laundry that I wash every day? And can you imagine how much I clean every day? Like, oh, holy Jesus. Like, I miss you, Mary Maids. There's a lot of things, but when I want to create control and balance in my life, I go over to my laundry unit and I see it as clear. I see it as the way that I desire it to be. And I understand this is a really lame, really pathetic example, but this is one example of many examples that I can give you. See it as already done. See the laundry as folded. See the laundry as folded and put away. Look at yourself, 150 pounds overweight. Look in the mirror. Make eye contact with yourself. Look at your stomach and see your six-pack. See the money in the bank. See peace in your relationship. See calmness in your home. Don't you understand that you're in control?
Until the rope snaps.
Yeah, you're like, that's the part of the story. You didn't let me
Goofy.
finish my story.
Oh, yeah.
Please do.
Finish your
Please
story,
do.
please. Oh, my God. I totally sidetracked
Hey!
it. Story, Sean?
No. I was telling you. Never mind.
Oh, wait, what?
No, I was talking about.
on.
You didn't let me finish my story. That's what happened. The rope snapped.
Oh,
I was speaking
I was
as you.
way off. Jeez.
Just a little bit.
So, there's a lot of lessons to be learned here in finding balance. I think one of the important ones is to really be in the present moment, because a lot of times what happens is we want something so bad that we get involved in the power of now, and we will tip the scales in a direction that isn't balanced, and it's not in the current moment. If you are present in the current moment, and you're living in the current moment, you're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past. You got to remember, time is a construct. It's not a real thing. It's a construct that humans have created in our brains. And it's based on the earth going around the sun. That's a solar year. Like we have created this thing called time. And we're worried about what's going to happen in the future. And because we're worried about what's going to happen in the future, we do things like we impulse buy. Like, I'm the worst impulse buyer ever, so don't feel like you're alone,
I don't
Sean.
know, man.
I've buried us so many times. Priscilla knows I'm an impulse buyer.
It's uncomfortable.
I'm currently uncomfortable right now.
I'm currently.
She's like, you know what? Actually, I have to check the Amazon account real quick. I'll be right
and my
back.
panties, but not in a good way.
She's just like, okay, if another bike shows up in my garage,
I am the reasonable purchaser.
You are.
I'm like, no, you may not have school pictures.
It basically boils down to, we worry about the future and when we can have this, and so we do it now. We buy things now. We go in now. We go overboard now. But there's also that balance where we go, okay, we're not here forever. We need to do things now. We need to capitalize on what we can now. And if you live in the present moment, you will realize that there are certain things that you can instantaneously start, like changing your emotional state.
Oh my gosh.
Changing your physical state.
Yes.
Changing the way that your body looks, if that's what's going to make you more comfortable. If you don't want to live uncomfortable in your skin anymore. If you look in the mirror on a daily basis, you're like, I don't like what I see. You can change that right now with a decision. That's something you don't have to wait on. And that's finding balance, because that's going to give you confidence. That's going to give you significance. That's going to give you some certainty. It's going to fulfill a lot of those human needs.
I mean, that's why we love fitness.
It's
We
one of the
love
many
fitness
reasons.
because it speaks to every single one of the human needs.
So that is one way to find a good balance. So remember, when you're looking for this, we can't tell you what balance is. We can't tell you, don't go out and make this purchase. Don't spend the money on the credit card. Because what if it's the best spend that you've ever made? What if it's one of those things where, for me, for example, I mean, it all started when I bought the Harley. Well, actually, it started when I was 20 and I bought the CBRF2.
Actually, no, it started the first time you ever rappelled. I realized this guy's got some ballsiness to him that I don't even know if I can hang.
Well, I was snowboarding way before that.
I was snowboarding before you were snowboarding.
I know, but you stopped
and then
snowboarding.
you crushed me. And then I stopped snowboarding.
I didn't crush you. I just rode really fast
And then you
figured it
just
out
crushed me.
and left you behind.
You're like, oh, dude, you're in the park. Let me just rail over your fingers. Oh, you can die. I can hang out.
It's all right. You got me back when I'm like, yo, watch this, babe. And I broke my ankle.
And I'm like, I will hold your hand while we get airlifted. Do you remember being airlifted?
No.
Maybe another podcast?
Wait, did I get airlifted? No, they dragged me down on the sled.
No, you were airlifted.
Where? Home?
I held your to the hospital unit, whatever it was. They
Yeah,
picked
to
us
your
up in the
backyard.
helicopter, and they picked us up, and you're like, am I okay? Am I okay? I'm like, you're
Are you
okay.
I got airlifted in a heli. I thought I rode down on the gondola.
For part of it.
Huh.
You have hit your head so many times.
I
And
really
then we
have.
got
I remember
airlifted
looking up
together.
and seeing like 5 people, and Priscilla's like, yo, it was me and the ski patrol dude, and that was it.
Actually, that's very interesting because I know that you are divinely supported for a fact because I see you surrounded by angels and it kind of pisses me off because I'm like, where's
Yo.
mine, yo? Like,
Well,
just saying, why
all
does
that-
all the good stuff happen
All that to be
Gabriel
said
Tough?
is that we can't tell you
Well, he was repelling off
the
something.
correct way to find balance. You have to know what the goals are in your life, which is why it's so important to take a moment and write down those 10 things. And you know what? I would say start now and start writing down what you have on the tip of your tongue and the front of your mind and start writing those things down. But take the time and write down 10 things that you want to do in your life, because one of those impulse moves may be a step in the right direction. Because if I hadn't have done that impulse buy with the Harley and then the second impulse buy with the R1, I would have never gotten to motorcycle racing, which I love. And it's really been a thing I've wanted to do since I was a kid.
You've got to plug into what compels you, what is magnetizing you, because that is a clue for what it is that you're here to do.
But
Even though I was really pissed off.
at first,
Like, what is that?
your bike is
What
here,
is that?
Gabe.
If you guys have seen our should have gone to the gym on YouTube. What is that? You
Oh,
get what
jeez.
I'm saying?
The second one when you
get
break
what
up
I'm
the counter.
saying. You know.
So, the major point here, guys, is you have to be responsible for finding your own balance. And you have to be responsible in this life to realize that you are in full control. And every choice that you make may tip the scales one way or another, and that needs to be balanced out. So you have to consider finances. You have to consider the 10 things on your list. How much it's going to take to get there, what actions you have to take immediately to start taking steps to make those things happen. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at the first thing you got on your list right now. whatever it might be. And tonight, I want you to take one step, a single step towards getting towards that goal. I don't care what it is, but I want you to step out of your shell and I want you to tip the scales in that direction. And sometimes it may be a little uncertain. It may be uncomfortable. Just like me stepping off the train trestle, the bridge, upside down, and being really scared out of my mind going, I could die right now. But then there's that moment when everything comes together and you're in the present moment.
Change is never comfortable, my friends.
It's not, but you soak up that moment and you go, this is the right thing to do right now. And I'm so glad I did this. I'm exhilarated. I'm feeling growth in my life, progress in my life. This is the way I want to go. So I want you guys to take one step
like,
tonight. I want you to take one step tonight towards whatever your first thing you wrote down was that you want to do in your life. And I want you to be responsible for that. This is going to change your life. And if by chance this is a physical change and you want to make a physical change, go sign up for the All Access Pass. I'm promising you guys, my word, that if you follow our programs to a T, you do everything, the nutrition, the cardio, the workouts, you will get amazing results and you will not regret it. And you have 2 weeks in the free trial. 2 weeks to just see that happen. There's no excuse if you want to make a change. If you want to make a change, there is absolutely no excuse not to sign up tonight at bodyspartan.com for the All Access Pass. Get that 14-day free trial and start changing your physical appearance, which is going to change you emotionally, which is going to give you more confidence, which will give you growth. You're going to have more certainty in your life. It's going to fulfill many of those human needs. Go do it.
No.
And take a look at your life and be like, where am I wasting time? Are you spending too much time on TV? Are you spending too much time on social media? Are you spending too much time on some girlfriend that is completely draining you? Where are you wasting money? Are you maxing out your credit card?
Yes. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. My bad.
Money. Are you eating out too much?
I mean,
I can't say that without
I'm getting the flashback.
I mean, if you've heard our last podcast, you know what I'm saying. And like, can you make extra money? Where can you find extra money? Are there things that are weighing you down that you can sell? Can you be giving?
So are we looking at ways like, are we talking about
the goals? It either takes time, money, discipline, or skill. What is lacking?
Or all of the above?
Which it could be all of the things, but usually it's time or money. So where can you find time? Where can you find money?
So I think the goal here would be to prioritize.
And you know what? If finding money means that you're taking away from your time, then that's not the right thing. But what is your push goal?
Well, wait, hang on. Not necessarily.
But sometimes.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you're trying to find money and it's taking more of your time, that could be a good thing. I mean, because we got guys that are stuck in the 9 to 5, and they may not want to be stuck in the 9 to 5. They may want to break out and do a side hustle, and they may need to sacrifice some time in the evening, in the mornings, whatever it takes to get more money so they can leave that 9 to 5 and do what they're actually passionate about. And that goes
same with making the people who say they don't have time for the gym.
Absolutely,
same idea.
Same thing. Like it's about about reprioritizing. We all have 24 hours in a day, and it's not any different for millionaires or billionaires, for 6-figure earners or for 5-figure earners. It's the same amount of time. So why do some people get their butts to the gym and find time?
May I please?
That's the question. It's because they reprioritize and they make time. There is always time. You make time.
For some people, being at the gym is a complete waste of time. Because they don't know what they're doing.
They don't know why they're at the gym, and
they don't know what their agenda is.
That doesn't have anything to do with
That's where we come in.
Oh, I see.
And we're like,
I'll shut up now.
I mean, I have a little bit of like divine help here. Help me out.
No, I was just saying I was wrong. I'm going to let you talk. I see where you're going now.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you go to the gym every day and you're spinning your wheels, you could be doing something better with your time. Do you realize in 45 minutes you could get more done in the gym that you could get done in months and months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months? I used to go to the gym at the same exact time every single day, see the same exact people, and they never changed.
I think what you're trying to say is that 45 minutes with a specific program that is guaranteed to get results, that have shown to get results, rather than trying to go in, wander around, figure it out yourself, see what guys are doing on Instagram, follow a workout, kind of guess your macros, that kind of stuff. I think that's what Priscilla's basic.
Yeah.
There's tons of places that'll calculate your macros for you, but is it really for the right goal? I mean, these are very general, large population macro calculators that are out there. You're just picking that chair apart, huh?
I am really feeling frustrated with this chair. Who wants to buy me a new chair for my bottom?
The point that Priscilla's
Who
getting at
wants
is that
to-
if you are
Hi.
struggling in the
Who
gym
wants to buy me a new chair for my bottom?
and you're there,
It's uncomfortable and it's picking apart. I'm just saying. Okay, your turn.
dude.
Go now.
The point she's trying to make is that why wander around for 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours with no results when you could be actually getting results? And so anyway, guys, I want to close with just letting you know that one thing on your list, take a step towards that tonight. I don't care what it is. The first thing on your list, take a step towards that tonight. And I want you to finish writing out those other 9 things by tomorrow. And if you're motivated and you're feeling it right now and you've got nothing else to do and you're just at home listening and you're in your car, I mean, dude, like, how hard is it to think about those things that you want? I don't want to encourage you to text and drive or write while you're driving. Just be careful. When you get home, write them down, but think about them. Say them out loud so you don't forget them. Know where you want to go. If you're at home and you're watching TV, turn off the TV. Open up the laptop. Start typing out on a Word document those things that you want.
Tattoo it on your girlfriend's face.
Tattoo it on your girlfriend's face. If you want to go travel, look at the places you want to go. Start setting up that vision board. Like, Sean, you want to go see the States. Dude, if I was you, I would be out every night and I'd be looking at like every cool place in every state I want to visit. And I'd have a laundry list. So I'm like, dude, I want to go to New York.
Tattoo it on my fiance's face.
I want to tattoo Times Square on Jess's forehead. Like that's number one.
She's like, this is not working for me.
And that way, when you look at it every night, you will know that that's the first thing on your list. So that is your homework tonight, guys. Find balance. We cannot tell you how to find balance. You have to figure it out for yourself, but these are some tips that are definitely going to help. We love you guys. Remember, Big Arm Bible 2 coming out in a couple weeks. Rev 2 right after that. 14-day free trial of the All Access Pass. BodySpartan.com. We love you guys. Deuces. We out.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.